go, Australia's final qualification game. Looking to wrap up their preparations ahead of a massive 48 hours of netball coming your way this weekend. Here's the captain for Wales, Drain. Looking for an early turnover, Kim Green. Rested the other night against South Africa.
It's great mid-court pressure. Wales just drawn into the trap of that defensive line. Oh, good take by Morgan. Kyra Jones just trying to link with the defence. Williams.
Kyra Jones, the centre for Wales, probably been one of their best players, Anita.
Yeah, she copes well with the Aussie style of defence, the one-on-one. She's been an absolute strength for Wales. She's been needed in that centre spot.
This is what we saw Leighton do the other night against South Africa. Come out hunting in that first quarter. Thomas for the first shot of the night. So the second attempt was a bully that's asked to stand out of play.
Wales will like the opportunity to say they've scored the first goal.
Well, they're leading the world #1 team, and great to see a few fans in the crowd as well. Caitlin Thwaites, first attempt, nails the long bomb. Played the entire game against South Africa, 33 goals from 38 attempts. Relishing a start. Kyra Jones unloads into Lewis. A little bit too much on it.
Yes, just looking for that first-time ball, but not to be. Good pressure by Leighton at the back, the goalkeeper. Good ball through to Bully.
Beautiful ball as they're working it backwards. Bully finding a little bit of space.
Just see Morgan dropping off Thwaites, and then she's out the circle. Bell drops back.
So they're holding the Aussies up. That was good defence applied by Wales. Thwaites is going to back herself in 2 from 2. The radar is on for Caitlin Thwaites. Paige Hadley involved in the action. Every second passage of play here, she'll go and get it again. An amazing moment for her. Growing up in Sydney, born and bred, plays for the New South Wales Swifts, wasn't even picked in the original squad. And here she is, the starting centre for Australia. And there is every chance, Anita, in the next 2 days, she might have just worked her way into a starting position in that starting 7 for Australia.
She's played some quality netball on the wing attack role, in linking well with all of the attack unit for Australia. She's definitely found a form, and already she's looking strong.
Here's Dyke trying to get it in. Lewis, a little double play, that's good. Chelsea Lewis, the lefty goal shooter for Wales, and that's a nice steadier for her to open her account.
Can't fault Wales, they've really come out strong in this. Lewis just willing to play the ball around. Bully just over-committing on that first run, so credit to Chelsea Lewis.
Replay ball from Kim Green, so a couple of costly fumbles from Green.
Good, strong front position by Hadley, but Kyra Jones just breaks out of that run, just gets herself up to the circle edge.
They're playing the Aussie style here, fast down the court, and the offensive rebound from Lewis. And she's able to mop up, and it's 3 goals apiece. Has been a great start by Wales. We saw South Africa come out the other night. They've got a higher ranking than Wales, and they were just stage fright. They were absolutely overawed and overwhelmed in that first quarter against Australia. 23-5 was that score. This is much better by Wales.
Yes, the long ball working for Australia, just getting that through to Hallinan. But good pressure by Morgan. Thwaites just holding strong, gets the contact call. Look at Kyra Jones, she's good and strong out, teaming up with Drain on the line, just stopping Kimmy Green come through. That's a great double play by Thwaites.
And Bell from mid-range, that beautiful high release. Perfect execution. And now the Aussies out by 2.
Good strong positioning, Hallinan, Hadley, but Dyke just finds a way through.
To Jones goes the high ball. Eventually it comes to Lewis. She's 2 from 2, there's her first miss, but again another offensive rebound. Well, Lisa Alexander won't be happy about that.
Lewis sets again. Good work on the front by Lewis. She's going strong on the body of Shawnee Layton.
Playing her 48th test for Wales, the 21-year-old. She's spent a lot of time in New Zealand just honing her craft. She's desperate to make it into the ANZ Champs and get a gig. This is the big stage and a moment for Chelsea Lewis to really stand up and get noticed. Plenty of scouts from the ANZ Championship teams here. Most of the coaches. Julie Cornetto watching on Anita, didn't even warm up, so we read into that she will be rested again tonight. It'll be back-to-back matches for her where she hasn't played.
Yeah, it's not involved in any of the strong intensity in terms of the movement in the warm-up, so probably some concerns there and a real opportunity for Layton.
Well, she's had her foot in a moon boot for the last month. Julie Cornetto got serious knee injuries, already announced that she will retire at the end of the World Cup, and just trying to get that broken body over the line. Cannot back up the next day if she plays a game of netball. Do they risk her tomorrow? It'll be fascinating to see. So they're just opening the gap ever so slightly here, Australia, but this has been great stuff by Wales. They've settled, no sign of real nerves. Happy to take it right up to them.
Yes, Wales just getting caught with the pressure. The mid-court defence, just timing gone in attack. They really just need to regroup. Regain that court balance, but good reverse hand by Layton. Unfortunately that she didn't come out with that. Welsh getting the throw in.
Here's Jones. Dyke at the top of the circle. Back to Jones, so very patient. Lewis is doing really well just to wear that physical contact that's coming from both the defenders.
And just absorbing that pressure there, Lewis. That's something that she really struggled with a year or so ago, but that New Zealand opportunity, she's really come into her own.
Just to put this match up in context, they have played 6 times in the World Cup. Wales has never beaten Australia, and all up, they have played 11 times. Wales has never beaten Australia.
And there we see just Lewis getting the stronghold. She's high in the circle. She's asking for that ball, and that was a superb feed through to the space. Well played, Chelsea Lewis.
What a feed, and what an even better take by Lewis. So they knew they had to weather the storm, otherwise they get blown out of the water early, and they have well and truly done that. Full short, a little misfire from Caitlin Thwaites. There was no pressure over the shot with the offensive rebound.
That was a superb ball through from Dyke to Lewis. Oh, better defensive play. Good movement, good footwork by Layton. Gets herself in the mix there to come out with possession.
I think it's 15-all now, 1 each. Great matchup, Layton and Lewis. Here we go down the other end. Green on the edge of the circle. Just a little offload into Thwaites. Missed just that one shot. Makes sure of it this time around.
There's good body angle there, Layton. Just realising the same kind of balls coming through as Lewis just holds strong.
Bell, too easy, just holding her ground, turns, spins, shoots. 5 from 5 for Erin Bell.
Yeah, she's got that one taped up now. Just needs Wales to just look at that, try something different. She's waiting for that ball coming through, Leighton. Good vision.
Waits one out against Morgan. Just too tall, too strong on that occasion.
Good work by the Welsh defence, just getting caught on the contact. Good easy ball in from Paige Hadley.
So now Australia on quite a run. They've scored 8 of the last 11 goals.
It's just got a sense they're finding the form. The space is there. Green just making that really strong move through to circle edge.
And they're double teaming Lewis. Well, the high ball worked the first time and it resulted in a goal for Lewis, but the last 3 times they've failed to get it into her.
Yeah, she's being pinned back now, not being allowed to set high as the ball's coming through court. So Wales just really need to regroup, restructure around that circle edge.
And there's that speed of ball movement. Short, sharp, quick passes. Razor sharp, the Aussies now.
It's quality ball, good, strong movement from Green. Oh, brilliant, well played, Bell. Just seeing the movement of Morgan, just coming out the circle.
Got lost, didn't she?
Yeah.
And if you leave Waits all by herself under the post, she's going to knock it down every time.
Again, good play by Jones. That's a better ball, good fake. Quality defence there, well timed, extended straight over the ball. Lewis can't manage with that. She's really just got to look at how she sets against Leighton.
And once again, Anita, we see it's Shani Leighton that sets the tone for this team. She has set the pace. A couple of big defensive rebounds, and a few intercepts. And she's getting right on top of her opponent, and she's been able to set things up from the back and give them this handy lead.
Just so quick to adjust, she reads it well, she's set in the perfect position just to get the rebound.
Just feels like in the blink of an eye, the margin is suddenly going to be 10.
It's great play again. Australia just seeing the movement, defence committing forwards, just exposing Wales. Just really need to keep their court balance, be patient through this mid-court area.
Morgan, nice ball into Thomas, and then working the angles in the pocket is Dyke back to Jones. Just no movement under that post, the 2 shooters.
Willie just closing off any drive from Thomas to ball side. But it's Jones that saves the day. She'll work so hard through that middle channel.
And that falls short for Emma Thomas. 1 goal from 3 attempts now for her. That's just a result of the pressure that's been applied. Oh, that asks a little bit too much of Thwaites.
Thwaites shooting 10 from 11 so far. Erin Bell 7 from 7.
So they played the entire game against South Africa. Bassett and Natalie Medhurst rested for the entire match. Will Lisa Alexander rest them for 2 consecutive matches heading into this weekend? You might see Bassett and Medhurst in the second half. Hadley, nice ball.
Just takes the pressure off the shooters, Hadley. She's so good at just sighting that move, gives a real quality ball into Thwaites.
So they've found their rhythm now, they're in their groove. They've scored 4 goals from turnovers. And those turnovers just starting to mount. That's better by Lewis. Strong on the take, strong in the air, and strong on the shot.
And just time that movement backwards then, just not going too soon. cannot fault Wales. They're putting pressure on as much as they can. Really do need Jones through the mid-court.
So Williams using Dyke and Thomas. Jones. Lewis one out with Leighton.
Sets the screen there. Thomas with the shot.
Just needed that desperately for her confidence, Thomas, but Leighton is all over it. She gobbles up the rebound, zigzagging their way down the court. Space really opening up now. And off the boards, the bounce pass into Erin Bell. And that's the Aussies at their best, just torching on the turnover. So 20-8, the Aussies rattled off 8 consecutive goals to really open up a handy gap. Quarter time here at Sydney Olympic Park, and it's the Diamonds up and about. They lead it 20-8. So Anita, the margin is 12 at quarter time. Wales did so well early in those first few minutes. It was goal for goal, and then suddenly they just clicked the Diamonds. 8 goals in a row.
That was on. She had a good angle. You've got to be aware that people come around as well, all right? One more pass at a time. You've got to be disciplined to use it. One more pass if you're uncomfortable on the shot. Shuffle in. No forcing shots and passes, all right?
Take us through these stats. It's 20-8.
Yeah, shooting accuracy 95% compared to 62. Far more goal attempts, but got to give credit to Wales. They did disrupt early, but those turnovers creeping in the Welsh tally there. 8 compared to 3. Be interested to see whether Wales can reduce the penalty count. 19 compared to 9 of Australia. But when the attacking unit linked for the Diamonds, it really was quality through the court. Some great passages of play with Green and some real superb feeding by Paige Hadley. But Lewis, give her credit, she worked the ball around, not afraid just to set the hold against Shawnee Layton. And a key shooter for the Welsh side. She'll be keen to impress, as we talked about Chelsea Lewis. But when the Diamonds let the ball go, it's great. Can't fault Morgan, she's trying everything against Caitlin Thwaites. But not a bad start by Wales. They'll be pleased with some of their performances, but Layton did just start to read the play of Chelsea Lewis, the goal shooter.
Erin Bell, faultless in that first 15 minutes, 8 from 8. Caitlin Thwaites had 12 from 13.
Let's go, guys. Radio starts the game. Let's go. Powerful second quarter. Power. All right. One-on-one defense. Really hard work and getting it out long. Let's go. Let's go. Go, girls.
So there's the message from Lisa Alexander. She was disappointed with this team that they took their foot off the pedal against South Africa late.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 6.
So the second quarter about to get underway here in Sydney. It's Australia 20, Wales 8. Lisa Alexander, we heard her in the huddle. She said in the media in the last few days that she's already started the tactical preparation for the finals, looking ahead to Jamaica tomorrow. But she wants Australia to win every quarter here tonight. Tick for the first quarter. She was disappointed they took their foot off the pedal against South Africa the other night. No changes with the Aussie lineup. And no changes for Wales either.
That's good rebound by Thwaites. Just get a sense the Diamonds just up in the intensity from this centre pass. Far more dynamic movement off the ball.
And she's presenting hard plates, isn't she? She looked hungry from the very first whistle. It's all about winning your position as well.
And just important that they get off to a better start, the shooters. Shaky at the start, some good work by Wales. And Wales just being told during the break not to be afraid to take the extra ball, to work the ball around, soak up the pressure with that extra pass, wherever that might be through the court.
Susie Drain, the captain, in that wing defence role, looking to go backwards. They're hesitant and it results in a turnover. They're running down the court in waves. Green just rolls it into Thwaites, who can add the finishing touches. So suddenly this is just getting a little scary for Wales, Anita.
Yes, Drain just trying to get a hand on it, but Green's just working to commit Drain forward and then taking the back space around the circle edge. Just using the height advantage and the space available.
Contact shooter, Australia.
Again, just strong movement, Leighton, around the body of Lewis. She was quick there just to take the front, but looked to roll around and then gets the contact. Cover by Williams, just tracked to close off the pass to Green. Morgan just coming unstuck there.
So the first 5 in this second quarter, Wales yet to score, and they are threatening here, the Diamonds, to really turn it on. 6 straight to start the second, and they have blown this game wide open. 26-8 now.
Lisa Alexander talked about power, speed, and they've certainly done that. The work of Bell, Green off the ball, really putting out a strong intensity as they work to get free. And there's the defensive line, just Bully hunting around that middle channel. She's looking to disrupt the flow of Wales.
Contact in defence. It's in the goal third.
Thomas for Wales just needs to be careful not to be caught behind Bully. That's a good ball through to Lewis on the front again.
And a much-needed goal for Wales. They get on the scoreboard in this second quarter.
Contact, goal attack.
So the score at one point in that first quarter, Anita, was 8-7, the Aussies led. Since then it's been 18-2. Let's make that 19.
Yes, can't fault the start of Wales. It was just a few costly errors and the intensity of defence, certainly around the mid-court area, and the work of Leighton on Lewis. Lewis is the key player, and Wales often look long to get that ball to her. But this time, penalty against Leighton.
Yeah, she finally wins one, Lewis. So she has now 9 goals from her 11 attempts, Chelsea Lewis. All of these girls for Wales, Anita, play in the Super League that you're very familiar with. In fact, most of them play for the same team, is that right?
They do. It's just Kyra Jones last season who didn't. She moved herself to an English-based franchise team, Bath, but the rest of them, they will have played, trained together. And Williams, an individual who's come back from injury, ACL injury, so Steph Williams has done a great job in rehab just to get herself back on court.
Nice double play. Great stuff from Wales, and to finish it off, Lewis does.
Plays with such confidence, Lewis. She's stepping up, she wants to do a good job out there.
And she is doing a good job. She's got the 10 goals, despite the fact she's got the big job against Shani Layton. They need more from Emma Thomas, their goal attack. Just the 1 goal so far from the 4 attempts. Maybe that's just a reflection on how well Bec Bully's playing.
I think so. She's really struggling just to open up the space. Bully really does close down the work of Thomas so efficiently.
Well, she's a shutdown player, Rebecca Bully, isn't she? She's a true tagger in the sense. She's not your flying for the intercept Laura Geitz style of netballer. And that's why it's interesting that we might be seeing Plan B here tonight, because if you're playing the Silver Ferns and Maria Tutayer, their star goal attack is running hot, maybe you just need to put Bec Bully on her for a quarter or a half to nullify her, take her out of the contest, just stick to her like glue.
Yeah, she just reads an awful lot. She communicates through, but she's so quick just to drop off the ball carrier like we saw there. She really is a key player.
Yeah, Bully here goes once, twice, 3 times. And beautiful from Kim Green. A little up and under pass into Thwaites. Just a set play we see here from the Diamonds.
Yes, 3 attack, drop back there.
Oh, Green again. What about the understanding? 2 players for the New South Wales Swifts. The captain, Kim Green, and their MVP this year, Caitlin Thwaites.
Just losing that speed in movement. Dyke just getting trapped in the mid-channel there.
There's no space, is there? Look at this defence. No. It's absolutely suffocating.
And you just start to see Thomas dropping in, causing a little bit of a confusion for Lewis. Thomas needs to be careful not to draw those 2 defence in.
Oh, that's better. They worked their way through that really well. Just a little triangle movement, working the angles, well played. Paige Hadley, game number 8 for Australia, heading into the World Cup. She'd only played 2, making her debut against Malawi going back a few years ago. Coming off an ACL herself, Paige Hadley from last year. Here it is, just thinking their way through that in attack.
Yes, good structure. Can't fault Wells. They've really looked at their attacking unit play, and Trish Wilcox just asking them to be patient, to set their structure, and they've certainly done that. And Lewis is just playing with such confidence. They may not win this game, but they'll take an awful lot from it in terms of their quality performance.
We saw earlier tonight when England played South Africa. South Africa actually won 1 quarter against the Roses, and that's just massive, isn't it? Norma Plummer would be absolutely thrilled that her South African team could take 1 quarter off England.
They were impressive. They stuck at the game plan. They mixed up what they did. And this is where Wales need to obviously just look at the positives out of this. That when they move the ball around and work off the ball, use those prelim moves to actually get free, they can draw the defence apart.
Offside call for the skipper and drain.
Advantage obstruction, contact. Contact with the bed.
But 3 Swifts players, Anita, in this attacking third, and then the 4th player is Erin Bell, who is a former Swifts player, knows Kim Green so well. She was a bridesmaid in her wedding. So no wonder there's a great combination and understanding up this end.
It's the speed of ball as well that catches the Welsh defence. That first time ball, but that was better.
Well done. Can only give it back to Hallinan though.
Bell just composed there, soaking up.
So Kim Green has called an injury timeout. And the score, 36-12. Lisa Alexander straight out to Kim Green just to check if she is okay. Now, just a reminder, during the Netball World Cup, the ANZ Netball Nation is inviting fans to show their support for their nation and get their game face on. Simply upload a photo of yourself in your nation's colours and include the hashtag NWC Nation. Sharon McMahon getting her game face on, top right there. There are 10 daily prizes to be won, including 4 tickets to the Constellation Cup in Melbourne on the 25th of October, and that includes flights and accommodation. Head to netballnation.com/NWC for more details. So lots of netball still to come this year. Constellation Cup, 2 games to be played in Australia in October. Kim Green, we know she's carrying an injury throughout this tournament, had her issues with her lower legs, her calves and her shins. And Kim Ravalian warming up here, so we might see a change. It's 36-12. Mr. Alexander just pondering maybe a change or two here. Kim Green's gone quarter and a little bit. Is it enough? Do they rest her? No, she'll play out the rest of this second quarter. Goals have been hard to come by for Wales in this second quarter, held to just 4, just to make it 5. Lewis settles.
Thomas really struggling against the work of Bully. We talked about how she defends, but she's really wearing down Thomas. Thomas just elements of fatigue in there. But Lewis just trying to keep this attack unit alive, and Jones really fast through the court when Wales get possession. With a great response by Thwaites.
We're talking about Emma Thomas, the goal attack for Wales, and she started this tournament on fire. Wales won their first 3 games. They beat Fiji, Zambia and Uganda. Oh, Leighton, closing late. Picks off a ball. We might see that a few times here tonight. Wales with the 3 wins and then the 2 losses, lost to South Africa and England. So their confidence has taken a bit of a battering over the last 2 games. Australia, of course, the 4 wins and the 1 loss. Their first loss in nearly 2 years came against the Silver Ferns.
It's great positioning. She's set for that. She saw that ball coming through the court early.
And Williams does it up the other end. And inspired by Shani. Let's see if they can convert and score from a turnover here. They have to think their way through it.
Good work, Jones, just using that change of direction, sees Hallinan just overcommit on the front.
Lewis looking for the double play. Look at Leighton, and she gets in front. Well played by Lewis, then protected the back space, and a nice finish. So they convert from a turnover.
Where Thomas really needs to work. She's got a really low position. You just sense that pressure that she's under, and the ball starts to sink lower.
Margin at quarter time was 12. It is now 24. They've been able to double their lead. They've still got a couple of minutes left in this first half.
Plays for the contact. Lewis, she holds strong against the body. Really props up well.
Looks like she belongs, doesn't she?
She does. She wants to be over in the ANZ Championship. She'll be doing all she can just to give a good account of herself.
Oh, Thwaites strong in the air. Almost a mini tuck jump. We saw there, Alamwai Kumwenda from Malawi. Our co-commentator, the New Zealand legend Temapara Bailey, calls it a tuck jump. Caitlin Thwaites has been watching a little bit of Mwai Kumwenda. So Wales, 8 goals in the first quarter. They've been held to 5 in this second. I really love 1 or 2 late here.
Yes, great defensive pressure there. Just nothing coming forwards for Wales.
White's just given too much space in that circle. Now she bodies up on Morgan. So the option is Bell.
Great take there, just uses her body, just gets the body between defender and ball.
Not quite a tuck jump, got the knees pretty high, almost.
traits is great. She's got that speed through the top of the circle, wants to lay that ball off early.
She is carving them up, Caitlin Thwaites. Goal number 26 in nearly a half of netball. Picking up where she left off against South Africa. She had 33 in that game against South Africa. That's in 60 minutes, so 25 goals already.
Punish contact, win defence.
Here's Thomas. Needs this for her confidence. Look at the pressure being applied by Bully, and it's a held ball. Beck Bully, perfect defence.
It's just so disciplined when she defends the shot, Bully. And Thomas just really struggling.
Here's Bully going again.
Can't fault the work of Williams, the goal defence. She's really trying to close down Bell, but just that subtle feed that comes in, well timed by Hadley or Green.
Punish breaking Wales, no attack.
Drain and Jones just doing all they can just to delay the movement through to circle edge, try and get some lift on the ball. But again, it's Thwaites who holds strong.
And enjoying themselves out there, and Lisa Alexander's pretty happy with what she's seen. It's been so convincing after a slow start where they sort of went goal for the first 3 or 4 minutes. Since then, well done Morgan in front of Thwaites. Whistle blows for half-time here at Sydney Olympic Park. It is the last of the qualification games, and Australia picking Wales to pieces. They lead 38-13 at the main break. So Australia flexing their muscle against Wales in the final match ahead of tomorrow's semi-final against Jamaica. They lead it by 25 at half-time. Anita, turnovers stands out.
Yes, 17 turnovers there in the tally for Wales. Interestingly, the Diamonds, they've scored 11 goals from those 17, so that'll be a great stat just to take home for the Diamonds. But some quality work, real intensity in the shooter pairing, some good solid performances there in the through court play by Green and Hadley.
They came out full of purpose, didn't they, Australia?
Definitely, and Leighton, she's just started to find a form, but we can't fault the work of Chelsea Lewis. She's stuck at it, she's matched up against Leighton, and she just continues to apply pressure and work that ball through to goal when she can and gets that front position.
And they were able to stick with them for the first bit. Proved hard to shake. It was 8-7 at one point, and since then they've just been like a steam train. The Diamonds, they're on a mission, and it's all about Jamaica in the semi-final tomorrow.
Yes, totally powered through the mid-court there, some quality attacking play. Impressed with Hadley, Green, and as you say, that relationship that they have from the ANZ Championships just paid dividends. But what a take by Leighton.
It's just beautiful highlight, isn't it? Shiny Leighton. Eyes lit up with the aerial ball, and the crowd just been entertained here at half-time. Good crowd in. We've got the official attendance. We'll get to that shortly. But half-time, the score is 38-13, and it's the Diamonds leading by 25 goals. Caitlin Thwaites leading the way with 25. She had 12 in the first quarter and 13 in the second. Erin Bell has 13 goals, 8 in the first and 5 in the second. Will there be changes? We'll find out after this.
To give Australia's kids active, engaged and having fun. The Netball World Cup is proudly supported by the New South Wales Government through its tourism and major events agency, Destination New South Wales.
Hi Netball fans, the 2015 Netball World Cup is finally here. We're calling on all fans to support their nation during the tournament.
Prizes to be won, including 2 tickets to the Netball World Cup and
Bike and accommodation. To enter, simply upload a photo of yourself in your nation's colours.
include the hashtag
Enter destination and that's netballnation.com for terms and conditions. What are you waiting for? Get behind your nation today.
Colours outside, look amazing, CD. Give us a big wave on the big screen. And the speed. We've got some Aussie flags here tonight. Who's having a little tucker at half time? amazing is tonight. Yeah, of course, this amazing lip-sync competition rages off the court. And I thought it was about time we had a look at our very own Australian.
Welcome back to Sydney Olympic Park. Crowd getting whipped into a frenzy here at the moment, and there's 12,065 of them. So the official attendance coming in for night number 8. Day 9 and 10 at capacity. We've had official word that it is officially a sellout. Shani Layton with some of her best work in that first half. She just relishes that goalkeeping position, Anita.
She does. She goes hunting for possession, but she's incredibly disciplined just to keep working, stays clean in terms of that hold against the shooter, but can't fault the power that she goes into any defensive run with. She's just got a great vision through the court to pick up any long ball coming through.
And a very brave coach that taps her on the shoulder in the rooms at half-time and says, can you just switch to goal defence? And this is a great story coming on a goal shooter for Wales. 196 centimetres, Georgia Rowe, just 20 years of age. She is on debut here at the World Cup. 196 centimetres, she's 3 centimetres taller than Caitlin Bassett. Her mum, her dad, her sister and her grandma are here. They're out from Wales. Her dad tells a great story about Georgia. She was a couch potato sitting around with the dressing gown on when she was a teenager. And her dad thought she needed to get off the couch. He called the local netball coach when she was 16, so this is 4 years ago. Just missed out on the Commonwealth Games team, and here she is in Sydney playing against Laura Geitz, if you don't mind. What a moment for Georgia Rowe.
Just never would believe that she's made that quick transition. She's picked up, she's learnt an awful lot in the short time she's played the game. Never really wanted to play netball, as you say. It was the dad that really wanted to get her involved, and it's a great story.
Sometimes if you've got the height, you've just got to do something with it.
Yep, and she's just really keen. She gets herself involved in the coaching clinics, just supporting the development of netball as well. She's just truly committed and found something that she's got a great passion for.
And do you like that move from the coach, Trish Wilcox? I mean, Chelsea Lewis probably their best player in that goal-shooting position in the first half, but just to give Georgia Rowe the experience.
I think so. It's fabulous just to get out there. She'll learn an awful lot. She's learning all the time, and we've seen improvements through this World Cup so far. It was a great smile when she came running onto court. She'll be pleased that she could just say she's played against Australia, and she'll take an awful lot from it.
So no changes in the shooting end for Australia, which means Bassett and Medhurst look like they might spend their second consecutive game on the bench, being rested.
We see Kidner, Letitia Kidner coming on at goalkeeper for Wales, partnering Kelly Morgan at goal defence. Drain still at wing defence, but Nick James takes the court at centre, replacing Kyra Jones.
Revalian's on at centre for the Aussies. Paige Hadley moves to wing attack. Kim Green goes to the bench. So Revalian played a half of netball the other night against Scotland, and now a half here. That is complete management, because she will need to carry the load in that centre position. And Beck Bully moves to wing defence, Leighton to goal defence, and as we mentioned, the skipper, Laura Geitz, is on.
Just a great intensity about Leighton, Bully. Really tracking the Welsh well. They just deny any movement forwards.
Holding, wing defence. Centre third. Manage wing attack, obstruction, manage moving.
Erin Bell now up to goal number 14. She had 33 the other night against South Africa. It's her highest score in the green and gold.
Yes, great swing of the ball there, Hadley. Just sees everything in front. She's got great vision, Paige Hadley. Got a few tricks up her sleeve as well, just to lay that ball off. Finding Green easily in that play.
So So Bell is the goal attack, she's 25, and Rowe is the goal shooter at 20. Such a big ask against the might of Leighton and Geitz. What can they do? Here's Bell, putting that high ball into Rowe. It was perfect, and Georgia Rowe, a big moment. The arms would be feeling like concrete right now, but all 196 centimetres of her, and she scores her first goal against Australia, making her 5th appearance for Wales.
She's not afraid to take the ball, she's not afraid to set. It's great when Bell just holds out the circle. That's often what Rowe really prefers, that one-on-one. She'll be really working just to hold and push Geitz up.
She's got to get it in there. Go the high ball into Rowe. No, they're forced to go backwards.
And just the pressure there of Leighton, Geitz.
Just to highlight the height of Georgia Rowe, and I kept going on about it, but Anita, but she is 17 centimetres taller than the average height of the rest of her team.
Yeah, she just nodded there, no. James was almost looking in, wanted to give the ball, but just sometimes work on that body angle as she sets, but as she develops, she'll start and use far more court craft, and we've seen that through this World Cup as well.
So kicking her out, and Plates make sure of it the second time around. Ball number 26 for her. Lisa Alexander does not want them to let up. I said it the other night against South Africa that their last quarter they were just mucking around. They should have gone the short way home. She's a tough marker. Still a long way to go in this contest. Oh, Leighton. Shani Leighton came out flying. This to make it 11 in a row for Australia.
Such a great commitment there, just to take that flying intercept.
Goal defence, penalty. Forward, please. Really forward. That's it, with her goal defence.
12 in a row for Australia. They are irresistible at the moment, and Shani Leighton is turning it on.
Such a commitment, that powerful drive through. Not afraid just to challenge and go for that intercept. It's such a good view for any defender just looking on. Great commitment. Oh, there she goes.
Unstoppable.
Goal defence, contact.
Leighton gets that 6th intercept. She's really playing a part in the defensive line.
So, Anita, I've got a bit of a theory, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Plan A for Lisa Alexander is Geitz at goalkeeper, Leighton at goal defence, which is what we're seeing here at the moment, and then it's depending on how Julie Cornetto's body is feeling, whether she's wing defence or Beck Bully. And then plan B is Geitz to the bench, Leighton in that preferred goalkeeping position, and Beck Bully in goal defence.
I almost get a sense that Leighton could be in this goal defence spot now after probably previous performances, and thinking that she probably would only be at wing defence or goalkeeper, but she's certainly tightened up a game on the goal defence spot. Better relationship just in this game than previously. Oh, superb defence by Geitz. Just world-class performances.
And there's your captain. I mean, the game's well and truly done and dusted, and just throwing herself at it. Don't forget about injury. Just throwing her body around. Absolutely cracking in, Laura Geitz. So this is all about combinations, really, for Australia in this second half.
Oh, great hands.
What about the reflexes?
Good quality defensive pressure. It's really strong communication as well, but the intensity of Leighton just to cover that move and recover is just phenomenal.
Here's Rowe for her second attempt. Well done. Held her nerve. So she's 2 from 2.
Oh, great swing of the ball. Good link, Thwaites through to Bell. Good fast hands by Caitlin Thwaites.
So it is Dyke that calls the injury time, and the score is 56-17. Madeline Medhurst just warming up on the bench. Didn't play any of the contest against South Africa the other night. Just watching Laura Geitz here. She was, after she won that ball not too long ago, just stretching her calves, and she's just grabbed behind her right knee and turned to the bench. So the left knee strapped. We know she's had surgery on that before. Keep a close eye on that.
Don't be tempted to do it. Work yourselves in, yeah? You've got to work it to the end. You've got to use sharper angles. Yeah, just keep talking. When you're sharp, it's good.
Bellow. We know you can bellow. George. Even if you're like a little part out when I say
Just leave it on straight, speed small, and remember if they're going flat, we're going 45. Right? My left lady, just
Trish Wilcox with some harsh words there for her young chargers. Just look like some baby faces in this group, don't they, Anita? Up against the might and the professional outfit, the ruthless machine that is the Aussie Diamonds.
And it's important for Wales that they do finish strongly in terms of the next games and their placing, but just forcing that one, Dyke. Not enough space to get that ball over the quality line of defence of Leighton and Geitz. But fast transition by the Diamonds. And Bell just linking well again with Thwaites. Not much space available, but Thwaites just really controlled in that receipt.
Coming out hard there was Letitia Kidner.
And there we see just the line again. Ravalian Bully just putting that pressure on. Strong arms over the ball. Footwork call there on Bell.
So the margin is 41 goals. Australia's biggest win so far has been over Barbados. They won by 67. They beat Trinidad and Tobago by 41, and then South Africa by 35. So looks like this will be right up there, if not their biggest win of the tournament, certainly their second greatest win. They'll bring up the 60. With 5 minutes left to play in this third quarter.
Pressure's always on, but that was a good ball through from Bell. Just saw the opening there, the movement of Leighton forwards.
She
found
just
the pocket.
threaded it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Beautifully. A lovely feed. Murray does well. So Georgia Rowe 3 from 3. Up the other end, Caitlin Thwaites. Enjoying it, making the most of her opportunities. 37 goals from 40 attempts.
Just forced to retreat there, Dyke. Clever move, just using drain on the transverse line.
Bell's first attempt. Oh, she looked completely intimidated, didn't she, as she turned towards the post. And she's been pinged for a held ball.
Got to let that ball go with the likes of Geitz in the circle. If you hold it too long.
Oh, a little layup move, no score. And another held ball.
The It's impressive, Thwaites. She really drops back to pick up that first mover. Quality defensive line just put up there by the Diamonds.
You talk about the defensive line, just 3 goals they've had this quarter, Wales. 8 in the first, 7 in the second, and just 3 in this third term. So they've got better, the Aussies, as the game has gone on. They are looking, searching for the perfect warm-up match ahead of tomorrow's semi-final against Jamaica.
She's been serviced well, Caitlin Thwaites, 39 from 42 attempts at goal. Some great attacking work from Hadley. Pressure of the defensive circle there, Geitz, Leighton, just almost stops the movement of Wales, just some hesitation.
So here's a chance for the Manita, 2-on-1 in the circle. Can they get their 4th goal of the quarter? James, which way does she go? Loops it over the top to Bell for her first attempt, and it's a goal. Well played, Sarah Bell. Playing in her first World Cup. Her first goal against Australia.
Too much on that one.
Haven't seen too many errors at all come from Australia. Been emphatic and comprehensive, and Caitlin Thwaites makes amends for her mistake. (64 plays 19). 2 minutes before three-quarter time.
Australia side.
It's great to see Thwaites just mix up a game, just use the rotation, come out of the circle. And she just pops out. Perfect timing by Thwaites. Superb link from Bell through to her under the post.
Caitlin Thwaites, 41 goals in 3 quarters of netball, as I mentioned earlier, 33 the other night in a whole game against South Africa. This has been superb.
Bell just seeing so much forward space that she just plays herself through into there. Good thinking, quality movement through to goal.
So 12,065 the official attendance for night number 8. Plenty of green and gold in the crowd, Anita. A lot of those fans might have gone to the Centurion stage show the other night.
So did the English supporters as
Did
well.
They?
Yeah.
Stage show here in Sydney featuring Liz Ellis and Sherelle McMahon and Kath Cox. I heard a little whisper that it might be heading to Melbourne in October, so...
I thought you were about to say England.
Now that would be a tour.
It would. Centurions from the England squad, old, and mixed it up with the Aussies too. What a night.
So Australia 66, Wales 20, final minute before three-quarter time.
That's it, with a goal.
It's 24-5 in this third quarter. So Australia really piling on the pressure. Highest score of the quarter so far, and restricting Wales just to those 5 goals. But again, good work, Georgia Rowe.
She
Not
hasn't
afraid.
missed. Yeah, she's 5 from 5. And would be loving the opportunity. Dream come true up against Australia and Laura Geitz. Margin was 12 at quarter time, 25 at half time, and it has well and truly blown out by 47 goals at three-quarter time, and the pain set to continue for Wales because we've got 15 minutes left in this contest for Australia. They will start turning towards tomorrow and their semi-final showdown with Jamaica.
Stay focused.
So 67 to 21. Thwaites with 43, Bell with 24. And for Wales, Georgia Rowe coming on at half-time 5 for 5. And Bell, the goal attack, just the one attempt, but she did score the goal. And it looks like maybe Natalie Medhurst might be coming on for the last 15 minutes here.
And there we see, look at those stats, a 93% shooting accuracy, 72 attempts at goal compared to just the 26. And quality defensive pressure really did restrict the shooting opportunities for Wales in that quarter. Turnovers 25-8, and Australia really scoring well off the Welsh turnover. Can't fault the work of Wales and the introduction of Georgia Rowe. She's started to play with confidence. She'll take an awful lot from this, playing up against one of the world's best in Laura Geitz. But Shani Layton, she's really impressed on the goal defence, probably given a little bit of a nightmare through now in terms of choices for Lisa Alexander, because she's really stepped up in that goal defence role. But Georgia Rowe up against Laura Geitz. She'll be pleased with some of the performance so far. She'll take a lot from this game, but impressive in the Diamonds attack. Slick, cool under pressure, some quality ball work around the circle. But a young talent there, Georgia Rowe, playing in her first World Cup for Wales. And Bell managing to get on the scoreboard later on in that quarter. But look at the defensive line of the Diamonds, and there Thwaites quick to position and gets the reward.
So Australia closing in on possibly its biggest win of the tournament so far. That was Barbados on game 2. They won by 67 at three-quarter time here, and they lead it by 46 goals. It is 67-21. Welcome back to Sydney Olympic Park. It's been a long day. Anita Naven and a little bit of Tom Jones belted out. The Welsh fans enjoying it. I'm not sure as much as the players, but good to see big smiles on the faces in the crowd.
It's a great atmosphere in the stadium. Get a sense it's party weekend. Netball and enjoyment. Lots of old friends reacquainted.
And officially, yeah, capacity tomorrow, capacity on Sunday. More than 30,000 fans are going to file into this terrific stadium over the next 2 days and be treated to some world-class netball. Will we see a big upset? A couple of changes for the Aussies. Here's Medhurst in goal attack, so Bell goes to the bench, shooting 24 from 26. She's done everything she possibly can. And Caitlin Bassett will play the last 15 minutes. Caitlin Thwaites, 43 from 46 in three-quarters of netball.
Get a sense this might be the starting lineup for tomorrow.
Ooh, big call,
okay.
Diamonds. Gullion at centre, Hadley in at wing attack ahead of Green. That is it's suddenly become a 50-50 call, hasn't it? Kim Green, we know, carrying a few injury concerns with her lower leg issues, her calf and her shins, but on form, Hadley would have to be a chance ahead of Kim Green.
She's linked incredibly well through the court. She just puts a quality feed in.
Kim Green didn't get any court time in that gold medal game against New Zealand last year, so she would be hoping to get on in the next 2 days and make an impact like Ravalian just did then, and then a rush of blood threw the ball away.
Bassett too far up there to recover. Feet forward, not able just to recover to come back, but that's a great take. Again, the pressure's on. It's good to see Bassett and Thwaites in the previous quarter just quickly transition onto the defence.
So what about Wales, Anita? This is, they're set to record their best finish since 1991, which was, of course, here in Sydney when they finished 7th. We know that they're ranked 8th in the world. They've made the top 8 pool, so they will finish somewhere between 5th and 8th. And their match-up tomorrow, of course, it is placings day tomorrow. They will play Malawi.
Malawi came out of a disappointing result today, just losing out to New Zealand, so there's lots to do.
And there's lots of positives to take out of it. Obviously, the scoreline at the moment, if you've just tuned in, you would think, how can that possibly be? But wins over Fiji, Zambia and Uganda, and then losses to South Africa, England and Australia. But it'll be a better finish than in Singapore 4 years ago. They finished 9th then. And they will finish somewhere between 5th and 8th.
Yes, Wales were really pleased just to be in the top 8, but they've gone from strength to strength, and just looking at the depth now, far more options, combinations open to them.
Wing attack on the ball.
And it's been a great World Cup for Chelsea Lewis. She's been a strength in there, and to know that Georgia Rowe is there to come on off the bench as well. There's lots to work on for Trish Wilcox, the Welsh coach, just a year in post.
Such a key for the Aussies. No great surprise we've seen the rotations and the changes made. It's such a tight turnaround this. It's a big ask for all the elite athletes. An 18-hour turnaround for the Diamonds. In fact, at the end of this game, to be precise, they need to be back here within 16 hours. They are going to play 3 games in less than 48 hours. Semis tomorrow from 2:20 p.m. Eastern, and then a final of some sort on Sunday. It's asking a lot for elite athletes, isn't it, to play 3 netball games within 48 hours?
It is, just back-to-back matches and limited time just to get the recovery in. It really is survival of the fittest, and just looking at the Aussie Diamonds, you would say that they are at their fittest, and the speed through the court's phenomenal. It is just about that recovery and just staying fresh and ready for what's about to come in semi-finals, and I'm sure they've cited the final as a position that they want to be in and playing in for the gold medal.
Repossession, great pass.
Nothing going right for Wales out there at the moment as the Diamonds look to put their foot down in this final 10 minutes. So they'll play Jamaica tomorrow. And you talk about the fact that the Aussies have been managed really well here. For Jamaica, it's a bit of a different story. They got the 1-goal win over Malawi earlier today. If Malawi had won that, they would have been through to the semi-finals. But Jamaica is sore. Will have to play 4 days in a row, which is different because England, Australia and New Zealand rested yesterday. Jamaica had to play, and some of their big names are carrying some injuries, is what we're hearing.
Yes, absolutely. Just a few niggles around, and Aiken called a timeout too, so just get a sense for them that there is more fatigue. Their rest day came much earlier, and obviously not getting that recovery in that they need could be costly to them moving forwards to the semi-final stages. We see Rosie Pretorius just in at goalkeeper for Wales, couple and partnering Kidner, who's moved out to goal defence. Jones returns at centre for the final quarter. And Nick James just on there, the wing attack for Wales. Really trying to work against Bassett, but Bassett holding strong, gets the contact call. Just a footwork call against Kidner, position well for that rebound.
See Pretorius, she's 185 centimetres, so she's giving away 8 centimetres to the giant in Caitlin Bassett. Bassett stands at 193 centimetres.
Great work off the post.
Julie Corletto enjoying it. She's the only player One of the 24 there tonight for both teams that hasn't seen any court time. So she didn't play Wednesday night, had a rest day yesterday, hasn't played tonight. So Julie Corletto, 3 days off. Do they take a gamble and a risk and play her in the semis tomorrow against Jamaica? Or is she the wild card on Sunday?
And it's offside.
Good cover.
Just easy for Geitz.
Just hovering there, just to take the back, just exposing Rowe, tempting the ball, tempting the pass, and it goes. She picks that one off easily.
Jamaica any chance against the Diamonds tomorrow, do you think, Anita?
I think they're just a little bit fatigued. I think it's been a tough run to the semi-final for them. Just get a sense there's just a certain commitment from this Diamond side now, really just to push ahead.
Bassett tried the little flick shot, falling out of court. So will the other semi be closer, do you think? That is England-New Zealand. The Silver Ferns thrashing Uganda tonight. They're the only team that remains undefeated. Signs have been good, and England by 16 goals over South Africa. They lost the third quarter and probably summed that game up by saying the Roses just did enough.
Yes, probably wanted a better performance leading into the semi-final, but England up against New Zealand, they can counteract that New Zealand style of play. They've worked a lot around the offline defence, the mid-court zone that New Zealand would put up. But it is about 60 minutes, every 7 players on court firing, and that'll be something that Tracy Neville, the coach for England, will be wanting to see. Just some players in the South Africa game just getting wrapped up a little bit with the umpires, the calls, some persistent contacts and warnings there. So that's just messy and just needs to be way, way out of the game plan, and players just need to step up and keep the umpires out of the game for tomorrow's semi. It will be tough, and it will be about that psychological advantage at the end for a lot of these players. And there she goes, she returns the Medhurst compliment off the post bell.
Pretty gutsy. Couldn't quite make it happen. Just a bit on the line tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be massive. New Zealand has never lost a World Cup semi-final. Neither has Australia. Ooh. A bit physical between Bassett and Kidner. So 5 minutes to go in this. It has been the perfect warm-up match for the Diamonds, just in cruise control. Margin is 55 goals. Their biggest win has been over Barbados, 67. Is their time to reel in that 67 and make it their greatest winning margin so far of the tournament.
Kidner going in strong for that one. Just the contact call, she's just wanting the ball, getting frustrated.
Repossession, Australia.
It's a good, better move by Wales, working off the ball, but just caught their bell on the repossession. Great ball, great timing by Medhurst. Could have put more on that to Bassett, but it gets there safely. Just looking previously, Jones, she's a quality, speedy player at centre for Wales. She picked up on Hadley, but Hadley just cruised ahead. So it just really shows you the quality of performance that Hadley's putting out on court.
Paddy, set up, structure.
Again, tempting the ball in, Geitz forces the error.
On the baseline, it's her favourite position, Medhurst. She makes it goal number 6 from her 7 attempts. Bassett's missed a couple, 9 from 11. Georgia Rowe's done well. Anita Navan, she's 8 from 8, so had the tough task of going up against Laura Geitz.
And it's just getting that ball through the line of defence, and credit to Leighton Geitz, they've tempted a lot of ball through, and It's actually not needed them to come out with the intercept. The line in front, they've picked up Ravalian and Bully. They've put the pressure on the ball carrier and often got the 3-second call.
So injury time called by Susie Drain, the captain for Wales. It is 83-24.
Just punch back and do it again. You do it across the moment and then you stop it, right? Just use your fakes, your balls, both of you are down low at the moment, so keep it up. I love your courage when you did that. So 3 minutes of courage. George? Yeah. No, just draw out and then post back up. So pull her out a little bit and then post up strong, right? You keep veering back. I want you forward, right? 1 step forward, not back. Let's finish strong, yeah?
Hands in, guys, hands in.
So some great insights in the huddle there for Wales. And their coach, Trish Wilcox, asking for last 3 minutes of courage. Anita, do you like that?
Yes, just calm words, just encouraging them just to stay in the game. They'll take the positives, they'll need to, as they move into their playoff position. I think just giving credit to Sarah Bell there, who was willing just to play that ball off the post and take that chance.
So don't forget, Wales have to back up tomorrow against Malawi. It's a tough ask, Malawi falling 1 goal short of causing the upset of the tournament against Jamaica today. And I guess the story of the day, Anita, is that the Aussies and the Silver Ferns didn't even really break into 3rd gear today to get through, whereas England and Jamaica were pushed all the way. So heading into a semi, what would you prefer?
I think it's good just to get a run out, just to see some of the combinations that you have, but definitely not the pressure that Jamaica have had, just that win by the goal. And for England, just some inconsistencies that they'll be really keen to put right overnight, ready for the semi-final. Right, look at that.
Laura Geitz doing what she does best. Margin is 61. Bassett makes it 62.
Just stopping any movement. Jones just bouncing off Ravalian, bouncing off Bully. They really are working and closing down that. Very difficult for any attacker to get through that line.
Here they go again, the Diamonds. They've been relentless. Oh, Pretorius just knocks Medhurst off balance. What a smile on her face. An unsuspecting Natalie Medhurst. And the easy give off to her West Coast Fever shooting partner.
Just late there, coming through, just getting to the body, not the line of the ball there, Pretorius.
Natalie Medhurst looking to make it 3 from 3. She's playing in her 3rd World Cup. Strike rate's pretty good. She's 1-2. Exactly the same for Julie Corletto.
She'll probably not be wanting a rerun of the Singapore final.
As long as it's the same result, I would have thought.
Not the...
Oh, we'd love extra time. It's a hard one to pick, isn't it? There's so much pressure on these Aussie Diamonds, and certainly it's because it's at home, there's been a lot of extracurricular activity. They've had to get out with the fans, mingle with sponsors, mingle with corporates, not a lot of time to themselves. The pressure is there as Geit's still putting it all on the line in the final few seconds. And Bell, can she get one over the long-reaching arm of Leighton? No, it's a held ball.
Yes, and it was a good screen there, just putting the ball over Leighton. Good work by Georgia Rowe, but just pressure too much. Great work from Geitz and Leighton, but that's a superb double play linked through the court by Medhurst. Bassett gets the last goal for sure.
And There is the 10,000 fans. You can hear them now. So Australia finish on top of their pool, and they have booked a date with Jamaica tomorrow afternoon.